So I'm teaching the other batch, right? So I'll teach them maybe parameters in by Monday or so. So I'll upload that video also fully. Anyway, here it is. So next, so let's start with reference lines. Okay, good then. So here, so anyway, Padmini also joined. So let's start. In the previous class, I told you what is a cell. Cell means each individual data point is a cell, right? So this group of cells is called as pane, and the whole chart is called as table. Okay, each individual cell, right, is each individual data point or bar is called as a cell. Group of cells is pane, and the whole chart is called as table. That's how we got the name table. And quickly I told you, right? I told you can add reference line from here, and you can add reference line from here also. From 9 version onwards. Before 9 version, this window was not there. Okay, so you can add reference line from here, you can add reference line from here. So both are there, right? So either ways it is same. So you can just double click here and add reference line. So I'll do it from bottom to top as per hierarchy. So right from bottom to top. So as I told you, right, you can go for any type of aggregation or number. If you want to give, you can give the number also, and any field. But always remember, it is the field which is there in the chart. See, I'm seeing sales in the chart, and I want reference line with respect to profit. Will that happen? No, it cannot happen, because this scaling is with respect to these measure values, and you try to add a line which is not there as per the chart. So then it doesn't make any sense, right? So you want to see what is the average salary for each Tableau developer, and you open and you right, you want to apply a reference line on data science salaries. Doesn't make sense, right? Basic common sense. So that's how it is. And you are seeing a label here, average, that is computation. If you want to change it, you can change it, as I showed you this one also in the previous class. Just give some name to that, right, directly, and you can see it there, right? As simple as that. I will keep competition or value, anything is fine, it's up to you. Line only, another one confidence interval is there, as I told you. I'll say it after some time. Okay. Next, here what I'll do is, again I told you, formatting, different formattings are there. You will not compromise with what Tableau is giving, so you can go with the colors, right? So that can be done. So fill above, okay, so fill below, right? So that's how it is, that's all, right? These are simple things what we have seen, right? I'll remove fill above, fill below, so not really looking good. So this is reference line for each cell, right? And I need to add it for each pane. So this is for each pane. Of course, if you want to add numbers or competitions, whatever it is. So if you want to change the color of that line, yes, you can go there and change it. So this is reference line per pane for this group of cells, right? You can understand how your department average is with respect to overall chart, or how your department average is there, so that you can compare how each individual product is performing with respect to this department average, right? That can be done. So that's when you go for reference line. Next, here, so one more thing is there, that is per table. So entire table. So here you click, and so here you can go again, color as I told you, you can change it, no problem. So go here. So for whole table you are seeing one reference line. So now you can see this is market average, let's say, and this is department wise average, and for each individual cell you are seeing value. So you can see how many are performing better than market average, how many are performing better than department, how many are below both of them. So which one is giving poor performance with respect to these standard data points. So reference line is nothing but some standard data point which will help you to understand it. So, right, so you can understand how the data is performing with respect to that reference lines, right? Some standard data point, right? So as a human being, generally we do it. I mean, we see it everywhere, the same thing, but now you are able to implement it in a software, right? Very easily using Tableau. Now, next thing is, of course, and remember one important thing, when there is no secondary dimension here, both pane and table both are same. Okay, so both pane and table both are same. When secondary dimension is not there, it's not that pane is not there. So I'll remove that and show you. Pane and table both will become one. Okay, so both pane and table became one. So you see that. Okay, both green color is there, red color is there. Red color is dominating. If you want me to remove and show, remove reference line, I'll remove one thing. You see that green color. So pane and table both will become one. Okay, next. In this one, let's see how distribution is. What is distribution? Next is, so distribution. So what I'll do here is, I'll go here straight away and add distribution, or I can right click here and add distribution. All the options will be same here and there. So you will not go right only here or only there, such kind of things. Band. Band means it will fill the area between two data points with some color. It will fill the area, right, between two data points, right? So with some color. So that's the most important. So here if you see, so here you can see between minimum and maximum the color is filled. Not a big deal, right? So pretty much straightforward. I mean, right, you can change the colors. Always remember, colors can be changed. Okay, that's not a problem. This white color line is a grid line. I told you you can remove it by going to format, right? When in which chart did I tell you? All of you, right? I told you in bullet graph. So that is grid line. Lines are here. So you go there and change it. Okay. So you go there in columns, right? And click on none. So that's all it is, right? So pretty much simple, straightforward. Okay. So now you can see that. Yeah. Okay. So that's all it is. Minimum and so. This is band. And of course we have distribution also. So, or you can say edit reference line, or either ways it is fine. Distribution, it is percentages, right? So all those things. So here it is. Now 60%, 80% of minimum or maximum. So did I tell you this in the previous class? No, right? So 60%, 80% of the maximum, right, with respect to this value, or with respect to average, or with respect to anything, right? Any constant is also fine. So whatever you want, you can do, no problem, right? Absolutely fine. So that is how it is. Next is, right, percentiles. What is the difference between percentage and percentile? We'll see this in calculation, guys. Again we will see, right, we'll see in calculations also. Okay, don't worry. So but what is percentile? It's better you know. What is percentile? Tell me.
Maximum value is considered as 100
Right,
percentile, and then all the others are calculated in relative terms.
okay, good then. So that's how it is. Okay, so that means that, so right, that means that percentage is with respect to full marks, whereas percentile is with respect to maximum mark. Okay, so percentage is with respect to 100 marks, percentile is with respect to maximum value. That means, let's say some students wrote the exam and the top mark is 90 only. Paper is very tough, so top mark is 90 only, and you got 85. So what is your percentage means 85 percentage. But what is your percentile means 85 by 90 into 100. So what does that mean is, so it is your full marks 90 is considered as 100 percentile. So that means your percentile will be 95 percentile. When 90 is 100 marks, 85 will become 95 percentage. So like that it is. Okay. So that's how it is. Okay. So that is percentile. Of course, I mean, you can see here, so you can change it, no problem. We'll see more detailed way when we see calculations. Okay. So like this. Or if you want more now only, if you didn't understand, let me know. I'll tell you how it is. Quantile. Quantile is dividing into pieces. This guy called me 20 times. Hello, Sandeep. 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 So, right here it is, right? Quantile. Quantile means dividing into pieces. Be clear about this. Quantile means dividing into pieces. Quartile means 1/4 of a piece. You see here, you are seeing 1/4 of a piece. It is quartile here. Quartile divided into 4 pieces. Okay, quartile you are seeing. But quantile means pieces. So here you are seeing quantile. Here you are seeing quartile. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so okay, so that's how it is. So quantile means piece, but quartile means 1/4 of a piece. Remember the difference. Okay, so that's how it is. And you can divide into how many pieces you want, no problem at all. So you can do all these things. Okay, how you want it. Even parameter option is there here, so you can use the parameter here also. So you can also do that, no problem at all. Next is standard deviation is there, in case you want to understand. So what is standard deviation? Definition is very simple, self-explanatory. That is how far your point is placed away from some standard data point. But how you will arrive that standard data point, how you will measure the distance from that standard data point is all about statistics or mathematics. You might have seen in your maybe statistics classes in our 10th class also. I think it was there. So I remember, but I don't know. So whether you have gone such education or not. So, but the point is this: first you will calculate a mean of the data. So that's the point. From that point, how far you are away from that point. That is called as error or variation or variance. So depending on how you see it. So that variance square is called as standard deviation. And you will take all the errors and then you will sum it up and see how much is the standard deviation. And it is done with the different sets of data. That means you will take a sample of data or full population. Either ways you will do it. So it depends. So it all totally depends. There is nothing that right. We can't straight away say that this is how we just calculate such things. So first of all, we need to understand the statistics. So for that, so anybody want a more explanation on this? Right, that is standard deviation. Okay. So of course, I mean labels, all these things you can change, and colors also you can change. No problem. So based on how you want it. Next is box plot is there. Box plot, of course, I mean, you know it, right? But for some people, I have not taught the charts. So maybe, right, in next 2 classes, I will teach the charts. You will get to know what is box plot. IQR stands for interquartile range. Interquartile range, IQR stands for. So it can be 1.5 times or maximum extent. When I show you the chart, I will show you what is maximum extent. Okay, or 1.5 times. It's up to you. So what all these keywords in box plot, I'll tell you. Okay. So that's how it is. Now these are different concepts of reference lines, just an extension of reference lines only. So band, distribution, box plot. So how you will highlight and how you want to understand the data with respect to some standard data points. That's when you go for all these things, right? So right. So that's how it is. Did I go through all these things in the previous class? No. Yes. Yes. No. No. No answer. Alright. Right. So, no, why
That
I'm
means you
laughing
did
is,
not teach
huh?
this topic. If
What?
there is no answer, that is not, you did not teach this topic at all.
Oh, okay, okay, good. So that's fine. So why I'm laughing is, so generally, how it happens is, in one of the Telugu movies, one comedy scene will be there. These many students are there, they will answer. Why should I answer, right? If one-on-one it would have been directly to the question to you, but still many people are there, right? so so everybody thinking the other person will answer. Okay, anyway, it's no problem. On the fun side, guys, girls. Anyway, so let's go here. And now, until now I have only one access, right? I told you you can add reference line only on measure access. Okay, so you can add reference line only on measure access, but here I have two access. What will happen if I add a reference line? Okay, what will happen if I add a reference line here, right? So let's see. So I'll add it from analytics tab. I will not add it from any access. Okay, I'll add it from reference line here. So let's see what will happen. So I'm adding from both. Okay, so you see that I got two reference lines. One is, right, vertical one, and other one is horizontal. What is vertical one? Vertical one is just saying that the standard data point there is, it is January 2014. That's all. If somebody asks you a question, how many points are there after January 2014, right? So these are all the points, right, which are after January 2014, correct? So that's how it is. So these are all the points which are after January 2014, right? That is how it is. But you can say it very easily. You don't need this line to, right, to help you in any way. It is very easy, but you need this line. Why? Because it is giving you average sales for all these data points. It is not easy to calculate it on the fly, right? So you need this. Okay, so that's how it is. So you need this. So that's why, so this reference line will help you to understand how the points are placed, remaining data points are placed with respect to that line, correct? So that's how it is. Good. So that is reference line. Next, here, so that's how reference line is. Now here, right? So here what I'll do here is, of course, if you want to recalculate the line, you can select some data points like this. I'll do it. So you can select some data points like this. So you see that you got a recalculated line. This is original one, and this is, right, this is how it is. So that's how it is. Okay, so this is reference line. Next, of course, if you want to recalculate again, okay, so that's how it is. This is original line, and this is the line below original line. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so this is reference line. Next, here, right, so this is reference line. What is trend here? What is trend? Generally, I'm just asking generally, not related to Tableau. Generally, we'll be talking in our day-to-day life, right? Trend. So what is trend?
Trend is nothing but something is changing or developing.
Hmm. Good. Keep going.
Generally, if it is an increasing trend or decreasing,
Mm-hmm.
like the value increase and decrease.
Okay. Good. Keep going.
According to the monthly decreasing or increasing of the data,
Very good.
maybe the trend.
Okay. Yes. Good. Keep going. Hmm. That's all. Okay. Trend, what all you said is correct, but with respect to time period, that's all you need to add. People will say in 1960s, 70s, bell bottom pants, they were wearing bell bottom pants, right? That was the fashion trend. Now people are using Android phones. That's a technology trend. They are saying trend with respect to time period, right? That's what is most important. That's why I'm talking trend here since I have a time period here. So what is happening from last to 4 years? What is the trend in my sales from last few years? What is happening, right? My sales is highly inconsistent, but what is the trend, right? So it will help me to understand, right, how my sales is, right, to what direction, in what direction it is moving, right? So that's the trend. So you can add trend line very easily. So you can go here, right, go to trend lines, show trend line. So directly you can do that. This is linear trend line by default. Okay, so this is linear trend line by default. So by default you can see linear trend line, and in the tooltip you can see how it is calculated, right? So go there, right click and see describe trend line. Okay, so describe trend line here. Okay, so that is how it is. So you can see, right, prominence value, right, equation, all that. So how much importance is given to each value. So all that you are seeing here. Not only that, you need not go for only linear trend lines. You can go for, right, different types of lines are there here. So linear is there, logarithmic is also there, but for this data logarithmic is not available. Exponential is there, e power, right? So that calculation is also there. Polynomial is also there. Polynomial, again, you can change the degree also here. So based on how you want it. But all these things, I mean, doesn't really, right? So unless until you understand, don't apply it. So linear trend line is more than enough. That's what business needs most of the times. Now, here if you want to write your own trend line, I am good at analytics, right? I want to write my own trend lines, statistics, all that. Yes, go ahead, do it. No problem. Nobody is stopping you. And as I told you, integrating with R, you can do all those advanced modeling also in Tableau, but not really useful. But if you want to do, you can do it. So that's how it is. So again, here we have one thing called as confidence bands. What is confidence, right? So what is confidence? So what is confidence here means, so just now we have seen in the reference lines concepts also that confidence lines were there, right? Confidence band was there. What is that? For example, let's say some student wrote the exam, right? Some students wrote the exam. So everybody got some marks above 90, that is 95, 96, 97, right? 85, 86, 87, right? 82, 83, 78, 79, 65. So like this, I mean, different marks. Now, you are a teacher, you want to segregate your students into batches based on their marks, and, right, you want to train them accordingly. So this is how it is. Now, here, you will say, right, all the students above 90, A section, right, 80 to 90, B section, also like that, it goes on. That's a very generic thing. So you want to do that. Now, so now that you want to do it, but when you are doing that, you got a doubt. You are sure that the students who scored 88 and 89, they will definitely score above 90. So you know them personally. So you are confident that those guys will score above 90 if given some encouragement. Right? That's all it is needed. Right? So that's how it is. How can you do that? Right? So how can you do that? So here the point is, right? So how can you do that is by you, that is called as confidence. Okay, so you have confidence on those students, so you will consider it as plus or minus 2, right? So plus or minus 2. So here it is minus 2. So generally we'll consider plus or minus 2. So that's confidence for you. So here also around the linear line, you're sure the points which are around that line, right? You're sure those points also will be considered as part of this trend, right, to help me understand the data clearly. So that is confidence interval or confidence bands which you are seeing here, right? So that's how it is. So, right, this is with respect to trend line. And of course, if you want to see how the, right, trend line trend model is applied, so this is how trend model is applied. Linear trend model is computed. So that's how it is. So this is what you need to know. Now, for example, right, this is trend line as you are seeing there, right? This is trend model. Next, here, right, so it will help you to understand from last 4 5 years, though my sales is highly inconsistent, it is growing, right? The line is going up. right? So that's how it is. Next, what is forecast? When can we go for forecast? What is most important for forecast?
Yeah, forecast is future prediction of the like any industry sales or profit, how it's going on the trend,
Hmm.
and what will it reach in the future. So we can calculate according to our current plan.
Hmm.
We predict on the future, like
Yes,
maybe
correct.
0.
Yeah, correct. So forecasting is predicting the future based on historical data. So if you don't have historical data, there is no point of going for forecasting, right? There is no point. So if there is no historical data, no, right? So no point of going for forecast, because it is not just like your personal life, right? So you need data so that you can forecast, right? So based on historical data only, you will forecast. So you will see how the last Christmas season happened to us, how it might happen this year. So what are the factors we should consider? So all these things. That's how you forecast. Of course, in a very lighter mode, it is called as predictive modeling, such things. Okay. So directly you can go here again. So go there and apply forecast. Right. Show forecast. 1 second. Right. So at a very lighter level, this is called as predictive modeling. So I applied forecasting there. So if you are seeing here, right, whenever you see an arrow mark like this, so that means that forecasting is applied on that field. So whenever you see an arrow mark like that, that means forecasting is applied on that field. So that's what it means. Okay. So you can see that arrow mark here or here. Now here. Now here if you see, there is a shaded area. That means this is forecasted data. For almost 1 year it has forecasted. So next 1 year is going to be like this. That means your sales inconsistency is going to continue the same way. But if you see the trend line here, it shows clearly that it is going up. That means your sales is going to increase, though it is highly inconsistent, but in a time period it will definitely grow, right? That's what it is showing. So the very advantage point here is that you are seeing trend line even for forecasting also by default, right? So you are seeing trend line even for forecasting also, right? So by default you need not do anything about it. So that is also there. So that's forecasting. Now, so that is forecasting here. So next thing is here. So forecasting is, for forecasting also historical data is very important. That's why, since you have time period based data, it's having historical data doesn't mean that you just pull in any data and right, can't give it to client. So you need time period based data. So that's very important, what is happening at a particular point of time. So based on that. And for forecast also we have different options here. So you go here, right? So forecast options are there here. So you are seeing different options here, right? Automatic, right, next 13 months, all those things. That's by default next 13 months. If at all you want to go for 1 year or 1.5 year like that, you just need to increase the number here, right? So you can do that. But I don't suggest increasing the number by too much, right, data, because the more you forecast, the accuracy will be that much less. Okay. 1 second. So here it is. So the more you forecast, the less accuracy it will be. You can take it from your personal life itself. For example, if somebody asks you what is your plan for next 6 months, okay, you can say, right, this is what I need to do. I need to learn W. I need to get a job and get settled down there. 1 year, okay, I need to extend my project contract or anything, or I need to learn some other new technology. But 3 years, 4 years down the line, so what you will do? Right? Not really a possibility. So you can't be sure, right? That's how the current generation is. So predicting for too long is always give you the wrong information. So that's why don't do it. So automatic 13 months is somewhat okay. So they're not a problem. So that's exact what Tableau is giving you. If you want aggregation, of course you can do it at different levels, no problem. So that can be done. Next is Tableau is using exponential smoothing model technique. Okay, so exponential smoothing model here. So if you are okay, you can continue with the same modeling technique, but so here right? If you want, you can continue with the same modeling technique, or if you are not comfortable, you can change the right modeling technique what you want to use. But you need to know how to apply it, how to write the formulas, all those things. Okay, so that's very important. So if you know it, it is very easy. Otherwise, exponential smoothing model is more than enough. That's what most frequently more used modeling technique. So you can go with it, no problem. So you really need not change it. Okay. Next, of course, we have different forecast options here, or describe forecast, how it is done. So you can see, right, how the forecasting. So, and of course, different models here, right, exponential smoothing model. So that's how it is. Okay. So that's how it is. Now, so this is forecasting. So in the line chart, that is how you can apply forecasting. Now, can I apply the same forecasting here also? Hmm?
No, I don't think it's not possible because
Okay.
on that last class we have two lines, two
Hmm.
reference lines, but here is only one.
Okay. So why I can't do it here? Why I can't do it here?
Because in the last one we have the two reference lines, one on the month and another is the year. But here only one line, so we cannot put with because we need to take it two lines for the forecast.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else want to give it a try? Anybody else want to give it a try?
What the lines are, like the minimum line of business.
Eh?
That's the question.
Huh?
What is the question?
There is no time period interval.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else want to give it a try? Hmm. Anybody else? Vahita, Priya, Purnima, Padmini, Madan already talked. So Aishwarya, Chaitanya already talked. Okay. So Deepti, Madan, Padmini, Purnima, Priya. Hmm. Done. Okay. So when you since you don't have time period, right? You don't have a time period based data. Time period is not there in this chart. That's why you cannot, right? Go for a trend line or forecasting, right? How can you say there is a trend without time period? How can you say that trend was followed in those days, right? So you can't do it. So that's how it is. So, right? How can you say there is a trend? So you can't do it. So that's how it is. So, right, trend line or forecasting is not possible for any chart except a line chart, because line charts are the only charts which are developed by using the time period based data, right? So these are the only charts which are developed by using the time period based data, right? So nothing else, right? We do it. So that's why trend lines and forecasting are possible only in line charts. Okay, so that's how it is. Next, so there is one exception to that, right? There is one exception to that. See, reference lines also you don't get within all charts. See, for example, I'll go with map. Let's say, can I add a reference line here? Can I add a reference line here? Can I add a reference line here? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, tell me
Yes,
how can I.
because you can add like a reference line as in how much bigger shows what the scale of the circles.
You told the scale of the circles, right?
Scale of the circles, you can add a
Okay,
reference line
where are
using
you
the
seeing
scale
the
of the
scaling
circle.
here?
Some circles are bigger and some circles are
Yeah,
smaller,
yeah,
so you
definitely.
can.
That is correct. Okay. So where is the scale you are seeing?
Scale in, I think, in terms of colors of the circles.
Color is represented by not size. Color means not size, right?
Color is represented by something, and or some color, probably blue is bigger and red, orange is smaller.
Okay. So when can we go for a reference line? So without a line, without some scaling, can we have a reference line? Without this scale, right? Without this access, can we have some reference line?
Yes, like heat maps, they have different colors mean different things, or
Hmm.
different sizes mean different things. So you can put different sizes and say that this represents this, and the bigger circles represent something else. You can add like a reference for the colors, or reference for the size of the circles can be added.
Okay. This is called as legend. Okay, size legend or
Oh yeah, yes.
1 second. So, right. So this is called as legend. This is color legend. This is size legend. Okay, this is size legend and this is color legend. They are not right reference lines. Reference lines means you should see a line like this, right? Some standard data point like this. That line will come with respect to access only. So, for example, I'm saying 220K. My market average is 220K, right? That means with you will get a line here. How you can get that line? Because 220K is here, right? So that's why access is very important, and you will not get with most of the charts. So you will not get reference line with most of the charts like maps, circles, pie charts, heat maps, tree maps. All these things you will not get because there is no access in those charts. Okay, so that's why there is no possibility of getting a right reference line. But if at all you want an access, so I want, instead of pulling in sales here, I want to put it here or something and get an access desperately, no problem, then you will get it, but that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so in charts like this you will not have reference line. Okay, coming to trend line right forecasting, not at all possible because access itself is not there. So from where you will get it? So even if you see here, it is totally deactivated. Even if you click here also, trend line cannot be computed. As simple as that. So trend line cannot be computed. So here if you see, you go here, click on trend lines, so cannot be computed. That is how it is. As simple as that. So there is nothing complex to think here. So it is very simple. Trend line forecasting you will get for line charts. Reference lines you will get for almost most of the charts where your access is there. That is major access is there especially. Right? That's pretty obvious. So that's how it is. Now here it is. So right, this is reference line. But there is an exception to it. There is an exception to it. What is that exception? That is with respect to scatter plot. With respect to sorry, by mistake I clicked on the wrong field. Okay, so right, with respect to reference line, right, with respect to, so here scatter plot, you will get a trend line here. So reference line obviously you will get it. Okay, don't even think about it because you have access and both are measure access. So if you add reference line, you will get reference line, right? So very simple, very easy, right? So reference line you can get it very much straightforward. But that's not the point. Can you get a trend line? Yes, we can get a trend line. We can get a trend line, but which doesn't make any sense. Why? It is, if you see here, what is this trend line saying? With respect to this axis, right, it is going number is right 0k to 350k, and with respect to this axis also the positive number from negative to positive it is going. It is just showing this line according to those axes, right, according to those axes, right? So with respect to that axis, right, so with respect to that axis, so it is showing a line there. Now here, So here this line is not giving you any other information with respect without right. So sales or profit access. It is not telling you whether sales is increasing, right? Without sales and profit, it doesn't make any sense. It is not telling you, right? Sales or profit is increasing with respect to subcategory or with respect to right this one or that one, because these points are distributed and they are uneven. So this line doesn't make any sense. But in scatter plots where you are using right correlation theory, which we do generally in right statistics, advanced statistics, or right. So that's how it is. So due to that, right. So we cannot right use it here, right. It doesn't make any sense. So I think it's your institute. One second. Hello. Hello. Yes. So here with respect to scatter plot, it doesn't make any sense here. So only in charts where you have access properly and where you have time period based data, that's when you go for trend lines, right? And wherever you have measure access, you'll go for reference line, right? Here, this is an exceptional case. This doesn't make any sense. In statistics and such things, you'll have correlation theory. That means to understand the relationship between two variables, that's when you go with such kind of trend line. So that's a totally different scenario, not here. Okay, good then. So any other questions, doubts here with respect to reference lines, trend lines, forecasting? Just to let to know everybody, we have a class after this class, which will start maybe in 10 minutes down the line. So which I will be taking second class. Of course, we just started that class. So which will be second class. Okay, if anybody is interested, you can join there also. Okay, all of you, in fact, whoever is interested. Yes, tell me. Any doubts, questions here in this one? Reference lines, what is the forecasting, trend lines? Okay. So Priya left. Any doubts, questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions or doubts, tomorrow same time we'll meet. Okay. Maybe in tomorrow's class we'll see groups and sets. Okay. So until now, in any of the topics, any questions, doubts, any concerns? Okay then. So tomorrow same time, yeah, tomorrow same time we will see. So I'll try to take in the weekend also to just cover up why I have delayed. Okay. So I'll do that. Okay. So please plan your time in the weekends also. If anybody is available, I'll take the class. If some are not available, I will not take class. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow, same time, we'll sit.
I have something to say. Or
Okay.
shall I rejoin and say?